there. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Heart of a Hobbit here on the official Lotro Twitch stream channel. You know, that's all the intertubes doing all their thing, making this magic of me talking come through the little screen over to you, right? In an esoteric mood all of a sudden. So hey, there's some chat over there in the chat. Some chat in the chat. Hello to Sandy and B4 and Mara Lily. What a great name that is. How's everybody doing today? It's a beautiful day here. Oh, and Geronarth. Nice, cool. Sounds like very sounds race of manish maybe. Yeah. So we are gonna do a few rando things over here today. You're doing great. How am I? I'm doing pretty good. Yeah. The sun is kind of, sort of, I mean, the sun is absolutely shining. There just happens to be a bunch of clouds between us and it. So the clouds are kind of fast moving. So we get these breaks of like intense sun. But most of the day it's been kind of like this, kind of muted, which is fine. It's funny, we have a cat door that goes through our wall to the outside, and the cats are just starting to use it, but they can't figure out the flappity thing. So, and there's two flaps, one on the inside, one on the outside, and so I've been propping them up basically so they can go through the tunnel. But it's a little chillier today, so I'm like, my feet are cold, the doors are closing. So it's just fine because the cats are in. They are taking up the couches. So yes, it's a good thing we have two couches because you can't see them too bad. There's a cat on each couch. So before the other day said something about, so we need to get more couches. I said, what, we getting more cats? He meant like a couches for us to use, not just the cats. I'm like, no, the couches are obviously for the cats. Like, that's who sits on them. That's who sleeps on them. We get to sleep on the couches too, but only next to the cats. Like, it's their space. Let's see. Well, you know what? I haven't picked up my ingredient crates today, so I'm going to pop over and do that here. So if this is something you haven't seen before, there's two types of ingredient crates, and they're a housing item. So you'll find them in people's yards or inside their houses. So there's the regular ingredient crate, and then there's the premium ingredient crate, which I've just turned my back on. That's funny. The regular one gives you 3 universal ingredients, and then the premium one will give you 6. And it has a 22-hour cooldown. So like you can see I just did it, and now it says my cooldown remaining is 21 hours and 59 minutes. So it has a 22-hour cooldown. So you basically come in once a day if you want and grab those ingredients. And they are heckin' useful for this sort of thing. So like if you are making something, and let's say I want to make a bunch of cloaks, and so I've got this guild version of the cloak. Okay, so the High Herald's hooded cloak. I'm guessing this is going to be, oops, this is going to be me closing that window. Let me try that again. Okay, so there's the High Herald's hooded cloak, and then let me see, where would I find that in regular cloaks? I would assume it'd be under cloaks. Master, officer, noble, rock climbers. Oh wow, that's wild. Usually there's an equivalent item that the guild version is the critical version, for example, of something that you could do if you got a critical on it on a regular version. So let's just put these next to each other because they're pretty close. So like, 1951 armor. So this is the critical version of this master's cloak, right? And then this High Herald's cloak, hooded cloak, is like the guild version that I can make. So what you could do instead, actually I've kind of gone off track a little bit here. The guild version, if I'm making it for myself, okay, let me kind of start over. If you're making something, you can use all the regular ingredients, or you can use universal ingredients. If I use universal ingredients, it comes out of that stash of universal ingredients, those packs that I've been collecting out of those crates. It doesn't use all that other stuff. So that's really handy because, as you can see, this needs like 5 different things, one of which is a large supreme pattern and a mithril flake and 2 things I can make, and then 1 thing I'd have to buy from the supplier. So that's a lot of stuff. But if I'm just making it for me or one of my other characters on this account, on this server, I can just use universal ingredient packs. It's bound to my account, but I can pass it on to an alt, and I get what is basically a crit version of a regular cloak. That's what a guild cloak is going to be. A gilded item is going to be basically a crit version of a regular thing. So that's really neat. I can do the same thing over here on the regular kind. I could use the universal ingredient packs. It's not necessarily going to give me a critical version. I can, add the stuff. Or there's these other things called universal optional crafting ingredient, which have such a similar name to the universal ingredient packs. So trying not to get them mixed up. But the thing is, this is something you can find in your inventory. Like, you can carry this around. It's got this little gem looking thing going on to it. That's a automatic critical. Guarantees critical success. So I could use like universal ingredient packs and one of those things, and I would be guaranteed to get one of these critical versions. And I wouldn't use any of my stock of, cloth and leathers and mithril flakes. And it's still just bound to my account though. So if you're ever making something for somebody else who's not a character on your account, you do have to use the regular stuff. You can't use the universal ingredient packs, but you can still use the critical item. So that's still an option. Okay, off into the weeds we were. Let us come back. Let's see, did I talk to Wenda lately? Oh, I still got 10 days. Hi, Wenda. Okay. What was the other thing I was going to do? Oh, I was going to grab my Hobbit present. I have a silver Hobbit present waiting for me. A landscape soldier token. All right. Oh, I hear my inventory is kind of a mess. We've been out doing stuff, and I haven't been taking care of my inventory. Oh, right, I have the Karish Gladden mirror. Do I want to put that out? I can't remember how big that is. It's a housing item. Let's find out. Oh, I'm still on my goat. Hey, this is the goat from the festival that just ended. So sad that the festival's over, because that was a good one. I was enjoying that one. But yeah, check out the goat. Love that goat. She's so cute. All right, so let me have a gander. So I've got some good stuff in my yard already. Don't necessarily want to swap anything out. I guess the chickens could go for now. All right. We'll let the chickens go for a moment. Let's see. Okay, so chickens are here. And, okay, cool. Mirror will fit there. Oh, it's the little, like, stare into my mirror that I've poured water into. Okay. I don't think it's interactive either. I think it just sits there. I mean, that's nice. What do you think? Mirror or chickens? I probably have other things in my inventory, though, I could pull out. Let me see. Hang on. Let's scooch this mirror out a little bit. My yard is turning very elvish in this Shire land, and I'm not so sure how I feel about that. So let me pop in my shared storage here. And we have a housing tab where I put a bunch of stuff. And I have also my carry-alls, because I have a lot of housing stuff. Let's see, fine board droppings. I think that's a no. Sears or oh my gosh, these homestead stables are crazy huge. I will show you one of those here in a second. It's something else. I'm pulling stuff out to see if I have stacks of it already in here, because I've got these set to auto gather. So if I have one in here already, it'll just slurp it up, but apparently I don't. All right, so let's see. What do we want? What do we want? Here's what I've got in my carry-alls. This one is the carry-all, which I tend to have like the things that a lot of your characters end up with, like this radiant basin that you get from, I think, one of the boxes of, yay, you're a homeowner kind of thing. So I've got those stacked up there, like the birch trees. You get that from that No Place Like Home quest or something like that. So I've got those in there. I got the War of the Three Peaks Ultimate Fan Bundle. And so it comes with this table, this map table, which is a teleport item. So cool. But each character gets one. So they stack. I love that they stack. So I'm going to have to start like putting my homestead tables in here as well because, yeah, we're gonna get a bunch of those too. In fact, maybe I'll go ahead and start. Oh, I can't just do that. You can't just drag things out of these, which I find so bummer-ish. All right, but we're gonna put this homestead stable in there. So now I can just stack those up. So that'd be great. What do we want to put out here in the yard? The clover table is cute, but it really needs the little stools to go with it, I think, in my opinion. I've got an elven bell tower. So, like, I just keep getting all this elf stuff. It's really weird. Got some Gammer stuff. The harvest statue? No. Hobnannigan's field? I mean, you know. Although I think that's a large... Yeah, it's a huge, huge yard item. This is not a huge yard. I could just do, like, a vegetable garden or something like that. I've got a flower bed. Got a vegetable garden. Let's take a look at those. The maypoles are always fun. Oh, you know what? I should put the maypole in our kinship yard. Okay, we'll go do that here in a second. Moria geode. Not really my style. The L-shaped planter, maybe. That Rohirric wooden cradle is just a little odd. Here, I'll show you. Let me put that in the yard real quick. And I know I've got stuff on top of it. I'll move it here in a second. The sundial is nice, but I think we'll probably go with... Oh, what's this? Oh, the woven reed warp. Okay, so let's take a look. So this is the Rohirric wooden cradle that you can get for... if you own a house in Rohan, you can do... there's like a reputation with the faction of the neighborhood that you can do a little, you could do a series of quests that get you stuff from them, and so that's one of the items you can get, and yeah. Scraw asks, when did you start playing Lotro? Well, today, about 10 minutes ago, but in general, I'm in a weird mood today, sorry. In general, I started playing, let's see, we moved to Europe in August of 2018, so I started playing in January of 2019. So, oh, you like the cradle, Sandy? I would be happy to put it in any house of yours. It doesn't really jam for me. I don't know. Yeah, it's not my thing. Let's see what else can we put out here, though. Okay, so we could do... I want to look at this rowboat. Oh, that is too cute. Huh. Okay, okay. Don't think that's going to be my thing. And we already decided no on the mirror. Okay, so no on the mirror, no on the cradle. Okay, so we're going to do a large flower. Oh, that is large. Oh, that's nice. I like how it takes up a lot of space, too. I like the yard to look, you know, like it's got stuff going on. All right, I think we're going to go with the flower bed and not worry about the vegetables. Okay, cool. So let's get out of decorating mode. I still keep my midsummer stable here. I love it so much. And at some point I'm like, you know, I probably should replace it, but I'm like, I just love it. So, oh, I was going to show you all this new homestead stable, which I don't know if you can still get it. There were coffers that were in the store, in the Lotro store, and they were available for a very short period of time, and it might have ended like yesterday. So I did go ahead and get in on that. And so this is that stable I was talking about that I'm gonna have to start stacking, because every single one of my characters on every single server is gonna get one of these. And I have like, this is the server I have the most characters on. I have like 13 here. And then I have like 5 and 8 and 3 and like, yeah. Oh, you resisted, Sandy? You resisted buying the coffer? Well, I will happily put a homestead stable in your yard anytime you like also. It's cool. You can go inside. Check this out. Here, we'll go in. And it's all lit up. It's always lit up with these lanterns. So even at night, it's got this nice warm glow that kind of comes out of it. It's got like all these cute little windows and stuff going on. And obviously places where you could maybe put horses or something. Now, it is an item of its own, and so dragging stuff inside of it is not always like straightforward, I've heard, but some people have managed it. So I have some giant pumpkins, so I just stuck them next to it. The building. I just left everything else kind of away. Speaking of large things, have you guys seen the Memorial Great Greenway Rock? I love it. You can see it from the other side of the neighborhood. Like we're here, and there's the other side of the neighborhood is like over there, and you can see this giant rock. Yes, Sandy, that stable would cover your whole house. It would. It would cover some of these Shire houses. Oh my gosh, no kidding. Are those barrels full of pipeweed? I mean, unfortunately, I can't open it, so I can't tell you. But I mean, it sure would make sense, wouldn't it? Sitting here in the Shire. Oh yeah, so I was thinking I might go over to our kin house. See, it's so funny because the character that I started on this server with, this is the Treebeard server, is a high elf. And so she's the one that bought the house. She's the one that started the kinship, all of that. But I play this character almost all the time now. I hardly ever play that high elf character. So it's kind of ironic that I've got a flet tree and I've got the swan fountain, like a Rivendell style flet tree here in my yard. So I got like a couple very elvish things in my yard in the Shire. And so it's kind of funny. I find it amusing. All right, so we're going to pop over to the other kin house right now. This is a Shire neighborhood. All the main race neighborhoods that you can buy one house of. So you can only have like one house total between the Shire, Breeland homesteads, and then there's two in Ered Luin. There's the Dwarven homesteads up north and the Elvish homesteads down south, Falathorn. And Thorin's Hall or Thorin's Gate homesteads. I always get those mixed up. Anyway, betwixt all of that, you can only have one house total. So my house is here in the Shire. And then in this Shire neighborhood, our kinship went ahead and has a house. And then like I have an alt character who started a kinship. And so that kinship owns that house that we were just looking at, that kin house. And then there's like another kin house at the top of the hill. Another one of our kinnies has a side kin that has that house. And then she also has another side kin that got that house. So basically we have all four of the kin houses in the neighborhood, and we put stash stuff in there and whatnot. So I like having our kin house be like fun and entertaining, but I feel like it may be time to take down the snowball arena for now. So I'm going to swap it out with the maypole, because the maypole is a lot of fun. And let's see, maybe can I bring that in just a little bit? The other way. Over here, maybe. Yeah, it's nice and center. Okay, so let me take that off, because one of the things I think is so much fun about the maypole is it is interactive, and I love interactive stuff. So you click on it, and now I have a streamer, and the streamers are slowly coming down as if people are going around and actually weaving them. And so you can run around, or you can just stand still, you can do whatever you want, you can jump up in the air, and it's slowly filling itself in. Here it comes, further and further down. And then when it gets to where it ends, which is, I don't know, I think somewhere in here, like, it's gonna go, there we go, and like, little confetti comes out. And then you can grab it again and start all over. So see, I've got another one. And here's Affodil's one. And it doesn't matter which way, you know, like you can go opposite each other, which is a lot of fun because I used to do maypole dancing at the Renaissance Festival when I worked there in Ohio. And yeah, Sandy says, I love the interactive ones. Me too. I find them so much fun. So we used to actually weave, you know, and stuff like that. So and I also have fun like jumping over things. So I like jumping over things while I've got the ribbons. I think that's funny. And then, ta-da! Okay, so we'll leave that out there for now. It's more spring, summery. So, off stream, Affodil and Rosenbloom ran around in Cardolan and did a whole bunch of stuff, working on cleaning up some deeds, finishing up some deeds, because we love deeds. So I have some trophy items. Hey, there's a shrew mouse. To turn in And that will finish off a deed. So let's go find that. Do you want to come with me at the dealio? Okay. Oh, it doesn't, it's not the mirror? I was going to take the mirror. Maybe not. Okay, so apparently I need to go to Cardolan, which, here's one. You did maypole dances in school. Oh, that's awesome, Sandy. How fun. I didn't learn that until, maypole dances until Ren Fair. So I was an adult by then. And, oh my gosh, it was so much fun. And it was, we're going to Karanost.
How can I be of service?
All right. It was so much fun too, because so we had, our group was called 8 Hands Round. And we had, dances for various numbers. And so when we did the maypole, you always had to make sure you had even numbers, because you'd weave in and then you'd weave out and then you'd weave in and then you'd weave out. We just did the basic, that kind of thing. And so, we would do that and everybody's like, yay, that was really cool. And you could get we had enough streamers, you get people from the audience to join in, and it was wonderful. It was a lot of fun. But then after it was all done, before the next, okay, bye, thanks for coming, everybody. Okay, bye bye, that kind of thing. And then for the next one, we'd have to unweave it, which was a little less festive. Actually, we may have done that with people there. We're like, okay, now the other way. Okay, so this guy is he's a trophy hunter, and ta-da! So these are the current quests I'm on with this guy, and part of why my inventory is a mess, is partly because of all this housing stuff, but also because we need to turn in these things to this guy. So I have a whole bunch of stuff here that's going to this guy. All right, so let's turn in this mandible.
Might I aid you?
He inspects the mandible closely, taking the same care as you did to avoid touching the mostly dried venom. As he turns it about in front of him, his face contorts in a thinly veiled disgust. He says, I cannot say that I have any interest in this trophy, but there are some among the Dunedain with more peculiar interests, such as the collection of spiders and insects. If you'd be willing to part with it, and I don't know why you wouldn't be, I'm certain that at least one among my kin would be interested in possessing it. Is that all then? No, hang on. Oh, wait. Okay, good. Let's make sure I got my Fateful Toolkit on. All right, we're going to turn that in. And now I have a deed called Trophy Hunter of Cardolan. So we're going to put that out here because I have... We'll just slide this over here. I have these lovely items to do with this gentleman. Well, guess what?
Well
We're looking for a quiver. All right, he inspects this quiver closely, taking care not to touch the stained portion of it with his bare hands. He pulls a long black arrow from the quiver, and its tip drips with some vile poison. After a moment, he carefully lowers the arrow back into the quiver. If this is the quiver of the orc, I suspect you have done the Dunedain a great service this day. Cannot say for certain, but I believe he was of the Tarkip clan. They delight in the slaying of men and have troubled my kin and I every time our paths have crossed. To my mind, there is little that strikes fear into the hearts of orcs, but perhaps this quiver will help us to ward them away from our encampments. Thank you, friend. All right, second one. Let's do another one. We have some claws. He's like, whoa, what are these? He inspects them closely, almost giving them a sort of reverence. He takes caution not to cut himself on the sharp claws before setting them down. I have heard tales of these creatures, the lath bears. When I was a boy, I was told they prowled the lands of Rohan after nightfall, clothed in shadow and feasting upon the young. These claws are quite a find, though part of me wishes you had never crossed paths with that creature. Although I am no weaponsmith, I'd wager these claws could be fashioned into a deadly tool. I shall have to see what the others make of them. You have my thanks. You're welks. Okay, and then we have a paw.
Well met.
And he notes that it is soft. It is well known only a fool would turn their back upon one of the wolves of Cardolan. If you'd be willing to part with this trophy, I will see that you are compensated. Yes? Oh, very good. You have my thanks. Now, the reason I wanted to make sure I have my handy dandy toolkit, Fateful Toolkit on, is because, that's the wrong button. There we go. So see how he's giving me 3 coins of Cardolan? My toolkit gives me +1 barter token, and those are barter tokens, when I have it equipped. So, and it gives me basically, not +1, but +10%. And it rounds up. So he's giving me 3. This toolkit gives me 3.3 then, which rounds up to 4. So, oh, you can't see it, but it said 4 coins of Cardolan just went by. So that's why I wanted to make sure I had that on. All right, we have a skull. He says, what are you doing with that? A bit grim, isn't it? He inspects the skull closely and studying it in much the same way as you did. After a time, he places it gently on a nearby table. Alas, for the Barrow Downs, even after so many years of sorrow, the dead do not rest. For my part, I shall see to it that this poor soul is buried where the foul magic of old cannot find them. All right, so we'll do that. And we have a dagger.
Hail!
He says, hey, have you found something of note? He inspects the dagger, pausing when he sees the insignia of the White Hand. This bodes ill for Cardolan, friend. If the White Hand seeks for allies among the goblins and orcs of the north, it will not need to try hard to find them. It seems to me the best course is to destroy these objects or keep them hidden from sight, or perhaps I'm wrong and the best course is to bear them in sight of the goblins and confuse their loyalties. Now I'll have to think upon this, lest I play into the hands of the enemy. Thank you, he says. All right, we have some horns.
Well met.
He says, what do you have there? He inspects the horns closely, studying various markings and wear upon them. Well, this is a fascinating find, friend. If you'd be willing to part with it, I can offer you my gratitude, and some coin, of course. I shall see that it is well preserved among our keepings, and that is a promise. Okay, sure. All right, only 2 left to go. Ba, ba, ba. What do we have? We have...
What would you ask of the Dunedain?
He says, have you found something new? New or old? Hard to say. He inspects the tusks carefully, and he carefully touches the tip of one of the tusks with his finger. Even with a soft touch, he pricks himself, drawing a small amount of blood. He winces slightly, but then his face warms to a smile. A mighty beast, even in death. These tusks will make a fine trophy indeed. I will see that they are well preserved. You have my things. Sounds like it'd make a great weapon, you know. All right, and so here's the last one. A trophy from Weathergrip, the finger bone. All right, he inspects the finger bone closely, turning it between his fingers. If I had not already seen the horrors of the Barrow Wights with my own eyes, I would not have believed you. I know enough, though, and I know even a crawling arm can fell the unwary traveler and warrior alike. I shall see to it that this bone is buried beyond the Barrow Downs. You have my things. And... there we go. Trophy Hunter of Cardolan. Done. Yay! I'm gonna go ahead and clear that list. It's getting a bit long. All right. So that gives me a title Trophy Hunter of Cardolan if I want it. Nah, I'm good with my current title, Bane of the White Wizard. Wah. We know what he's up to. So what do we still have left in Cardolan then? And Swanfleet. Let's see. We have... actually, if I really want to know what we have, I'm going to pull up the deed tracker. And go back to Eriador and Swanfleet and Cardolan. Oh, I'm a little behind. Anyway, but in general, what I have left to do is some deeds of Cardolan. Yeah, just, okay, sure. Delvings. We have a lot of delvings to do. So I've got, so there's this new thing called delvings. Well, new-ish, like in the last 6 months? Has it been that long? Might have been. And they're missions. They're basically missions. And you can make them harder. And so they're like, you know, do it on tier 1, do it on tier 2, do it on tier 3, and so on. We're getting back to that, though. But first, let's see. Okay, so that tidied up that part of my inventory. Let me tidy up a little bit more of my inventory here before we get too far down the road. Let's see. I think everything's just going to go back into my storage, so we'll just do that for now. Okay, and then before the Shadow came out November 15th, so wow, like 6 months ago, yeah. Time flies, man. So that's when those delvings came out. Let's see, what else have I got in my stuff here? I've got a vial of water I have to do with Dar Narbagud. Should I just cancel that? I'm wondering from you, honey. I have a vial of pure water that is a part of a quest in Dar Narbagud? Maybe that's Legendary Mirkwood? No. Where is it? Anyway, it's this thing. Okay, we might still do it. So, alright, I'll leave that for now. Harry, I'm trying to figure out my inventory, and he's like, oh, no, it's okay. Hang on to that. Oh, I've got some outfit items. Isn't that cute? Wow. I would consider wearing that. What if it dies? Okay. I'm always curious, like, how well does it dye up? That looks really interesting. What does it look like in, like, a rose? That's not bad. Okay, you know what? I might throw that in my inventory for right now. Let me pull up my inventory. My wardrobe. I mean, excuse me. That'll sit on my throat today. So Agarther points out that delvings are missions. They're now doing the school and library of Thammirdan on Bullroar. Oh no, they're already in those two, sorry. And then on Bullroar, they showed delving for Anuminos and Great Barrow clusters. So they're slowly increasing the missions in which you can do the delving system. So you can, it's like an extra layer you can add on to it. Borking asks question, where do I go to get my 16th anniversary items? So when you log on, what should happen is they should show up just in your inventory, in your bags. Now, if your bags are full, they'll just wait, and then once you have some space, they'll just start automatically filling in. So just log on as in on one of your characters, and you should see those show up. So like for me, I think I've already tidied mine up, but I had yeah, they were just in my inventory, and then I tidied them up. They've moved on. Let me throw this in my wardrobe real quick, and then it disenchants into delving writs. Well, that's neat. I don't think I want to keep it. Okay, so I'm gonna need. Sorry, not shared storage. I need my storage. I'm gonna need my flame of what's it called? Ancalamir. My flame of Ancalamir. And we're going to use that to go ahead and disenchant that into writs. Sweet. And then what's this one? These are vambraces. I don't tend to wear it. You can't even see it because I probably have it off. So I think they're probably not better than my current gauntlets. So we'll go ahead and now is there a, I better double check this to make sure there's no cap on these delving writs. Oh, there is, but I'm not close to it. Okay, cool. I'm at 1100 out of 5000. Plenty of room. This additional 10 is not gonna put me over the limit. And then, let's check out the, looks like a shoulder item. And with that other thing, what was it called? What was that thing called? I forgot now. That's probably something delving related, isn't it? Yeah. Let's see what those two look like together. What does it look like without it? Let's reset. Okay, so if I just wore that, and then I put that on it, I mean, maybe a bit much for a Hobbit, but maybe not. All right, we'll throw that in the wardrobe too. Why not? And then, yeah, I don't think I need it. We'll disenchant that puppy. Let's see. Yeah, so B4 says, yes, your 16th anniversary item should, any anniversary item should automatically appear when you log in. And yay for more places for delvings. Let's see, Agarther points out that also on Bullroar, and Bullroar is a test server. They open it up from time to time to kind of work on, and it's like a beta server. So you can go in and have fun testing out all these things that are being worked on and are about to come out. and then you can kind of like poke at things and see where you can break them, and that way they can fix them before they send them out to the servers for everybody. So let's see. Also on Bold War, delving and landscape difficulty are mutually exclusive. Excellent. You choose one or the other. That's fantastic. Borking asks, what were the items that were received for the 16th anniversary? Oh, good. B4's got the list for you. Thank you. So yes, so for 16th, it was incandescent lightning fireworks, a 16-year frame, and the title Illuminator. Yeah. So I can't I can't illustrate those for you because I have not reached my 16th anniversary on this in this game. Oh, Affadil might be able to though. Let me close this out of the way. I hadn't thought about that. Okay, so this will be the fireworks. So they look like that. That's cute. They had ram fireworks for sale as part of the anniversary festival that just ended. That's nice. I like those. Well, Borking, when you logged on, you should have gotten something. Something should show up in your inventory. Oh, and the 16-year frame looks like that. So it's got 1, 2, 3 of the gold sparkles off the wings off to the side, and then 1 silver wing. So you know each of the golds equals 5, and then the silver is a 1. So yeah, so Borking, when you log in for the first time since the anniversary date, which was like the 15th or so of April, anything from there forward, the first time you log in with a character, you will you'll find that stuff in your inventory. Ah, there we go. Affadil Illuminator. So Affadil got their stuff when they logged in, obviously. Now, Borking, if you haven't been online in quite a while, like if you haven't logged into Lotro in year upon year upon year, it doesn't automatically increment the years that you don't log in. So yeah, and Nephilus is probably saying the same thing. If you just if you missed a year or more of logging in, you will be behind. So yeah, so like if you didn't log in for a whole year, you won't be at 16, you'll be at 15. So, so you might have gotten anniversary gifts for however many years that you're at as far as the game is concerned, not how many calendar years you've been a player. So, because if you don't log in, it used to be like in the early days, apparently it would continue to increment you whether you logged in or not, but then at some point it changed over. I don't know, the software changed or something, and so now you have to actually log in so the game sees you, and they're like, aha, there you are, and then it can increment you to the next number. Which is why it's super important to make sure, any of you who are watching this now or in the future, to make sure you log in at least once a year, sometime between like middle to end of April through like middle to end of March, because that's the time frame during which it'll increment that number for you. So you want to make sure you do that every year, even if you're not active in the game. Just put a note on your calendar. Be like, oh yeah, remember to log in, get anniversary, increment, and then off you go. Okay, so I want to go try this allegiance system. So, about a month ago. So what I normally do on the stream is I really enjoy doing the festival stuff, and but there's not always a festival on, right? So if there's a festival in between, if we're in between festival times, which we are right now, there is no festival and there's no event going on. Now, let me just double check something. Oh, big important stuff though. The legendary item reward track. So they redid the legendary items. So no longer does legendary item experience go to your weapon. Your weapons basically rely on your experience to be allowed to be reforged. And you can reforge them like every 5 levels. So that's a whole separate conversation, but just keep that in mind. So what happens to that legendary item experience if it's no longer going to your weapon, well, it goes into this new track, this legendary items reward track. And they're doing seasons of it that are 3 months long. And the current season ends in 21 hours. I will. So, for example, 3 months ago, and 2 months and 29 days ago or whatever, we started this track. And what's on here generally are, there's like 5 kind of repeating things, which is like a copper of ancient script, some enhancement runes, a sealed tracery, let's see, sealed tracery, more enhancement runes, coffer of ancient script, enhancement runes. So you see we're getting this repeat over and over again. Maybe it's 4 things: sealed tracery, enhancement runes, ancient script, enhancement runes, sealed tracery, and enhancement runes. So you keep getting that same rotation of stuff. What they've kind of settled into, because this is like the 5th time they've done this now, they've kind of settled into is like item number 25, box number 25, is something different. So in this case, excuse me, it was a coffer of the snow. Darn it, I scrolled. Sorry, a coffer of the snow-covered oryx, which was a cosmetic pet. And then sometimes like 40 or 45 is something different, but 50 is always something different. So in this case, it was the legendary coffer of a good book, which was the read emote, which is fantastic. So a lot of us Hobbity people were definitely trying to get legendary item experience to make sure we got that. And then up around 60, 65, 70, in that range, sometimes there's something different, but 75 is almost always something unique. And in this case, it was the legendary coffer of the fiery blue beetle, a cosmetic pet. I wasn't as excited about that, but as you might be able to see, I've claimed all these, so we actually did earn legendary experience to get through all of these boxes. And then once you get to, sometimes like 90 is a little different, but definitely once you get to, and notice as we go further up, even though we're still getting like sealed traceries, we're still getting enhancement runes, but they're the fancier versions. So we get a legendary sealed tracery, we're getting incomparable sealed tracery, legendary level of runes, enhancement runes, and so forth. There we go. 95 was a chest of figments of splendor and embers of enchantment. But then 100 was something special, unique, and it was the legendary coffer of the Ukrash portrait frame. Looks like a big crab. It's cute. Yeah, I see that. So what happens if you get to 100 and you keep earning legendary item experience? Well, it just basically goes into a pot of 101. And the 101 spot is right there. And it just kind of rotates through. Remember how I was saying it kind of, there's like that rotation of, figments, or not figments, but, the currency to buy the traceries themselves, the enhancement runes to make the tracery spot better, and it just kind of rotates through the stuff. If you do missions, which we did a bunch of them, without paying attention, apparently that gives you LI experience. So I now have 105 boxes that I need to claim in the next 21 hours, which, okay, so here's what happens when you claim a thing. And it's only going to claim one at a time, I assume. Yeah. So they just start filling up your inventory like this. So I'm going to stop now, and I'm going to deal with this monstrosity after while I'm not on stream, because this is insane. And I'm going to find out which one of my characters has 99 inventory spots that they want to take up with all of that. Oh, hey, speaking of this kind of cool stuff, though, there's the book emote. So that one was fun. Very happy. So many of the role players are like, I need to get to 50. And I'm so glad they put it at 50 and not 100. Thank you, SSG, for that. Yes, your book glows because your hands are glowing. So yes, I managed to get there on my non-combat character over on Laurelin. Thank goodness for Before's help with that. Because we went into Moria together, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah. Anyway, and annoyingly though, there's only one, because each server, your legendary experience bar, all the characters on your server are contributing to this one legendary track. So I can't do it on Rosenbloom here and then go get to level, go work on the track with another one of my characters. They're all contributing to the same track, which means there's only one of those coffers that has the read emote, so only one of my characters got it on each server, which is kind of a bummer. One way I could have gotten around that slightly is we could have gone to Shadowfax, gotten a character up to 45, got a bunch of legendary item experience, got another coffer of the read book, and then transferred off. That would have been funny. But we didn't do that. And Shadowfax is, I think, closed now. Let's see. Egg Arthur points out that embers don't overcap on a transfer. So if you're on Shadowfax, you might want to put off opening the ember boxes from reward track, otherwise you risk losing currency. And that is one thing, yeah. So these boxes with all of these currencies in them, you have currency caps on these things. So like the ancient script, which is the currency that you use to buy these things that go onto your legendary weapons, it has a cap of 10,000. I'm at like 9,500. If I just keep opening boxes that have ancient script in them, it'll get to 10,000 and I'll just keep opening. It'll just sit there at 10,000. Like all that extra ancient script would get lost. And same thing with the Figments of Splendor and the Motes of Enchantment and the Embers of Enchantment, which is why I actually have those up here now, because I got really close to 10,000 on those at one point without realizing it, and I hit a cap, and I think I lost a few, but yeah. So now I try to pay attention to them at least. Egg Arthur says ancient script will overcap on a transfer, but not embers, motes, or figments. But if you're not transferring, if you're just doing it all on the server that you're on, it will just sit at the cap, and you'll just end up sending them off into the ether, which is sad. Okay, so anyway, there's no festival on right now. Legendary item reward track ends in 21 hours. So now is a great time to go around all of your servers and check to see where you are on that track. And if you need to get somewhere further, do it now. Get all your stuff off of there. And then be ready for the next one that's starting tomorrow. I think it starts at like the normal 3 a.m. server time, or 10 a.m. server time. Whatever 21 hours is from now, actually. So what time is it now? It's like, what time is it here? It's like 6 o'clock here. So minus 3 would be 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Probably 10. Yeah, I think there's aiming it for the normal 10 a.m. or when the server reset is done, right? Because tomorrow's Wednesday? Yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday, server reset day. Okay, anyway, there is a buried treasure event coming starting Thursday, and that's going, a lot of times they just do those for a long weekend, but it says the 18th through the 30th, so that means it's going for like almost 2 weeks, like long week and a half. So next Tuesday, then, we'll be able to do some buried treasure stuff on stream. So if that's something that's new to you, I'll be able to kind of demonstrate how that works, and you can kind of, run along if you want, whatever makes you happy. Let's see, and then we got Hobnanigans, first weekend of June, and then the Midsummer Festival comes June 8th. So we have really quite a lot of time until the Midsummer Festival comes around in June. So yeah, so we'll be finding other things to entertain ourselves in between now and then. One of which is this allegiance system. So allegiances are a whole nother faction thing, and we're still kind of like scratching the surface on this. Yeah, I will in a second. So if you go to, now it said character, but I'm not seeing allegiance here. Maybe it's reputation. Under character? I'm on character. Yeah, okay. So earlier I found this, the carrot menu, which is down here, down below my face. You click on that, and that's where you get this kind of big laundry list of different menus you can go to. So if you go to the character one, under character, you'll find that you have this variety of options, one of which is allegiances. So I'm going to click on that, and that tells me where I am with the allegiances that I've started with. And I have started with the Zelruka clan. As it turns out, oh, there's a travel button in the allegiance window. Well, I just closed that, didn't I? Where's the travel? This one? No. Oh, look at that. There's a travel button on this window. Really? I am traveling. Travel to the Hall of Vernozel. Vernozel. It's probably something like Venizal. Venizal. I don't know. I can't quite get that like dwarvish sound. I need to be more German, I think, to sound dwarvish. I'm too I've been we've been immersing ourselves in the Dutch culture, and so I don't have quite the German thing going on. By the way, we've got a couple things to claim. Do you have that on yours too? Go to your allegiance tab again. I mean, mine says claim. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, it is grayed out. Oh, I guess I can't do that yet. So sad. I also have 0 out of 30 hammers. So we'll find out more about this. So allegiances are kind of new to us. We're still figuring this out. Yeah, Verschnozzle. There we go. Verschnozzle. But Zova is somebody we got to talk to while we're here. So we came here once. We figured out how to get here. And then we got a cute, handy-dandy little travel skill, which is on cooldown now, but it's in my travel skills as well. So yay for that. And they send us off on little missions, I guess, is what we would call them. Is that what they basically are? So yeah, Zova is one of our main contacts in this area. So missions of Gundabad daily, and missions of Gundabad weekly. So we'll pick these up here because you know me, I love a good rapper, right? All right. So the Zelruka have need of your assistance in the ongoing efforts to reclaim Gundabad. So we're in the Gundabad mountain area. I ask you to complete a series of missions in Gundabad, assist Scoutmaster Hausma and Horan where you can, and then report back to me. And I know that Prince Ingor can count, and I can count on you. Okay, yeah, sure. So that's our daily, and now the weekly one is, yeah, the same thing. But just complete 20 missions in Gundabad, and the other one is just do 5. So you can see that they'll take possibly more time. We'll see. Okay, so then as it is kind of in the other dwarvy areas where you've got like when you take that table that you can get, it takes you to one of those war rooms, and these two are also that same kind of, you know, idea. Let's see. Okay, so before is breaking it down. If Zal is hall, which I could see that, so it's Verno Hall, or the Hall of Verno. Yeah, so it's Verno Zal. Verno Zal. Yeah, alright, I can be down with that. Alright, so let's see. It looks like Horan's got a couple missions for us, and Ausma has a handful of missions for us. So, sure, let's see what we can do. You want to start with the Lost Expedition? Alright, let's do it. Okay, so let's see. Pardon me. Alzma says, it's been brought to my attention recently that we weren't the first dwarves to explore the frozen expanses around here. Apparently, there was a dwarf expedition into the snowfields for an unknown purpose many years ago. The dwarves that went on the expedition never returned, so whatever information they have gleaned has been lost in the drifts of snow. I beseech you, could you follow in their footsteps and see if you can recover any of their belongings now frozen in ice? Yeah, that sounds great. They went out into the ice and died. I'm sure we'll do great. Any information you may provide useful to our efforts. Just beware of the freezing cold. Indeed. That sounds just like the thing. Okay, so a lot of these missions, they have some sort of a twist to make it, like, to give you some dimension of difficulty. So this one, the twist is persistent cold. Some monsters in this mission will apply a persistent cold debuff that can only be removed at the bonfires found around the mission. All right, so let's travel in there and take a look. Okay. So, yeah, this looks pretty desolate out here. I wonder if I should do foods and stuff. I'll go ahead and do foods and stuff just in case. I don't know how difficult this is going to be, or if this is like, is this going to be easy, or is this going to be really hard? Oh, and Egg Arthur points out there's also a brazier near Zova that can remove the debuff. That's awesome. Thank you for that. All right, so we've got a couple of ice grims out here. Uh-oh. You're taking a while to load. Indeed. Uh-oh. You were eating when you hit the travel button. Oh, well, now you're in a Hobbit coma. That's what happens when you're eating and traveling at the same time. Sometimes it doesn't work out. I am going to wait for before to pop into the mission. So while we're paused, I don't know if Sandy, if you're still around, or any others who are curious about my fiber arts journey, but I've been making a sweater, and this is the first piece of clothing that I've knitted. So my first project, I knitted a washcloth, which is kind of classic for, you know, a knitting project. And then my second project, I made a scarf because I needed a scarf. So the sleeves aren't done. I made the first one and there were issues. I was supposed to increase at various points. So which means, so basically I'm making a tube for those who are new to this idea or haven't heard my story about this before. So I'm making a tube, and because I'm just going round and round and round and round and round. Okay, so I'm making a tube and it's a sleeve. And you may notice that your wrists and the top of your arm are not the same size. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to make it bigger and bigger as you go. Just a little bit, but enough to accommodate a human arm. I didn't do that. And so I was just going and going and going and going, and probably got to like our, you know, like shoulder, or I mean elbow length, and then reread the instructions. And so starting like here, I was supposed to have started increasing. So anyway, we were there. This is number 2. This is attempt number 2 of a sleeve. And so we're making progress though. And it actually is turning out better than attempt number 1. So yeah, and there's like a little decorative thing going on at the bottom. And that's coming along pretty good. So yeah, so I think it's gonna be, yeah, otherwise you have like just arms, like, I can't move. Yeah, practice makes perfect, no kidding, right? So yeah, oh, by the way, I see we have 10 raiders from Thunderbracer. Hey, you guys came in a couple weeks ago, didn't you? Well, welcome. I think from Germany, maybe. So anyway, just showing off some work. I'm learning how to do what's called a yarn over, and then you knit that like the following time around. I know how to do a yarn over and then ignore it, so it creates a hole and makes like a lacy pattern. I did that in the scarf, but I don't know how to not do that. So I'm learning that. So yeah, I'm supposed to make an increase like every 2 centimeters. So that's why I've got the little thingies here to remind me to do that and to tell me how many I've done, because I can't remember otherwise. And I can't necessarily, I don't have the eyes yet to be able to identify where I've done this. Whereas like somebody who's done this hundreds of times would be like, oh yeah, there it is, there it is, there it is. Like, so I've got like my little helpers to remind me. But anyway, it's coming along. Yeah, so we have the beginnings of a sleeve to get me probably that far so far. So yeah, we're coming, we're getting there. It'll be done by the time I want to wear it for something cool weather related. Anyway, yes, I'm pleased that the second version of the sleeve is looking good. So, all right. Hey, and I see a B4 has arrived. Yay! All right, well, let's go hit some grims, huh? Yeah, there's a weathered ice pick. I think we should go and investigate that in a moment. Seems like something we should know about. All right, we were able to take that one out with a Heartseeker, but it's also possible that it could be really difficult, so we'll find out. I pushed the wrong buttons. That's okay. All right, cool. So this isn't terrible. All right, we can do all right with this. Okay, we've investigated one lost tool. So awesome. Let's see. Let's find the next one. Oh, Egg Arthur points out it's easy to miss items as you make your way through this map. Okay, so I'll just be tabbing around a bunch then. It sounds like. All right. We B4 and I both have a pretty strong habit of like shift tabbing around to look for things. So thanks for the heads up. We'll make sure we are prolific in that today. Oh yeah, and the delete. Okay, maybe I did the wrong. Whatever I said. So, oh yeah, sorry. Shift delete is what I use. Yeah, to check around. And that one's already been looked at. So now we've investigated 2 lost tools. There's another weathered ice pick, but I see it. Awesome. Anyway, welcome Raiders. What have you all been playing today? We're playing Lotro here. You probably know that since you purposefully came here, I would hope. You didn't come here by mistake. Alright, we're going to ignore those other grams. We're going after these. Wow. Whoa, you found yourself a friend. He's very cuddly. Little pokey. Keeps your feet nice and cool at night. Okay, there's another weathered ice pick over here. Questing in Gundabad. Hey, well, that's what we're doing, sort of. We are missioning in Gundabad. So, oh, we're going down this way. Woo, slippery slope. Fall down. I mean, it looks like the sort of thing you could just slide right down. That looks like fun. Looks like good hobbity fun. Okay, I see another weathered ice pick. And another cold drake. Alright, minstrel's got their attention. Let's see, I already got that one. Okay. So we're at 5 out of 10, so we're about halfway through this mission. So we're doing missions for the dwarves. There's an allegiance of the Hall of Vernazal. Yeah, I can't remember the names of the dwarves. Yeah, the Zelruka clan of dwarves. So we're doing stuff for them to help reclaim Gundabad. Yeah. So we're on a mission in some distant snowfields to, there was an expedition that they know about, but they don't know much about it. And so we're out here trying to, like, see what evidence we can find of them and anything we can bring back to Ozma and the other guy. Oops, let me get out of this box. Whee! Okay, 7. We're at 7 tools. Oh, hey, I've got the little snowy thing on me. I don't think this is a fireplace that counts. Is it doing anything to me, though? Let's see, I've got I'm getting frost damage. Well, not anymore. I was getting frost damage. Hey, I don't think the bad stuff that happens in here is too bad so far. What do you do? I can't even see it. Let's see. Oh, well, oh, there it is. You've got a gnawing cold on you. Let's pop that out. Seek out the warmth of a campfire to remove the ill effects of the cold. Wow, that's going to last an hour. That's some big time stuff. Oh, I was on the other stance. As a hunter, I like to be in precision stance because it gives me focus every, whatever it said, however many increments of time that is, every 5 seconds. And I find that really useful because I like the skills that I can use when I have enough focus. Like rain of arrows. I could have used the rain of arrows on that, for example. That would have been nice. So all these skills that are grayed out at the moment down here, they probably need focus, and I probably don't have it. When I'm streaming, that's why I don't have any focus. But I was in endurance stance. And endurance stance is great if you're in a situation where you need to get some of your health back. Occasionally we'll run into that situation, like if we're running something as a group and I'm not the tank, I'm just back there shooting things. So really, Affodil, as our healer, will be working heavily on making sure that our tank stays up. And we'll throw heals around to the rest of us, of course. But really, that's the priority, not me. It works out, though, because I have the ability to manage some of my own health. When you're in that endurance stance, for example, quick shot down here, what I have on my number 3 spot, it will give you health back for every shot, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I'll switch it over here so I can show you. So quick shot now does, let's see, a 30% chance to apply, or is the chance to apply based on the bonus focus? Hang on. All right. Knock and loose an arrow quickly. Has a chance to generate additional focus. Okay. It does damage, Balerian damage, and then has a 30% chance to apply a focus, so that's nice. But it does 404 to 539 morale. So that's really useful because basically, if I'm in a situation where my health is looking a little low, I could just do like quick shot, quick shot, quick shot, quick shot. And every time I do that, it's going to give me like 400 to 500 health morale back, which, you know, in a sticky situation can be the difference between making it and being on the ground. So, but I don't tend to run with that unless we're in a situation where I need to be paying attention to my own health. This is not a situation where I feel like that is a strong, where we're, having a lot of trouble. Oh, we have to recover a lost journal. All right, so we got enough pickaxes. Now we're looking for a journal. There's also another skill that I have, and called what is it? Number? No, not right. Penetration? There's another one I have, and I always have to look at it. I thought it was number 8, but that's where I put my Heart Seeker. Although I thought I had my Heart Seeker on 6. Now I've got a Rain Arrow on 6. Oh, it's the Blood Arrow. That's why I have it on there twice. Because, yeah, it restores 10% of maximum morale. So that's really nice to use. And that's even in my Precision stance. In Endurance stance, I think it's the same. Yeah, it restores 10% of maximum morale. So that one I don't have to be in a different stance to be able to get some morale back. But it does take, it has a longer, plus you have to have focus, first of all, in order to use it. And it has like a 20-second cooldown, whereas your quick shot, I don't think there's any cooldown at all. I don't think there's, yeah. Oh, it's an induction of 0.4 seconds. No big deal. All right, so we're checking out for this book. I think, yeah, awesome. Oh wow, can't even see where we're at. We're tabbing around. Kids are out next door. I don't know if y'all can hear that. So, oh, hey, I found an old expedition log. Wouldn't that be funny if it was a log? Like, piece of wood. Mission complete. Yay, talk to Ozma. Hey, Dwarf Scout. Well, let's collect a mission reward. And then we will take an escort. All right, a whole expedition lost in the snow, huh? You'll have to show that journal to Ozma when we get back. I will happily do that. So there's a family that lives next door on that side, and it's the excuse me, the dad and mom of the kids, and then there's 2 little younger, like toddler age. There's a new baby, and then there's sometimes a 6-year-old. Well, maybe he's 7 or 8 by now. Over on that side, and then his dad lives on the other side of us. So the kids go back and forth, usually assisted by an adult. But they go out back a lot, and yeah, they know how to cry. They have learned that skill, and they use it prolifically at times. So it is. All right, so the Lost Expedition. Well done. This journal should provide insight as to what happened to the dwarves that were here before and can help us prepare against the cold climate. Okay. So that gave us a deed of complete missions in Gundabad. So the last time we came in here, we just were like, hello, what is this place? And what are we doing here? And they were basically like, welcome. Go find these 5 landmarks in here to orient yourself, and go talk to the prince and say hello, like things like that. So this is the first time that we're actually doing these missions now. So we have these missions in Gundabad. Apparently there's a list of all of the missions that we can do. We've done one. Once we've done all 37 unique ones, we get some marks, mountain marks, some currency for this place. We get a title and 4,000 virtue experience. And then the last one is a mission slayer. Defeat many foes during missions in Gundabad. We're at 79 out of 200, so that ain't bad. Now I'm kind of hoping, and I'm certain that it will be the case, that we don't do all of the unique missions and finish that deed until after we get our next level cap increase around here, because my virtues are completely full and done. Our virtue cap right now is 37 because our character cap is 75, and so your virtues are half of that rounded down. So 37 is our current highest level that our virtue traits can get to, and I am at 37 out of 37 on every single one of these now. So yes, it is my hope that we don't finish that and lose that 4,000, because that would be sad. All right, let's see what Dowsma has for us. How about King of Claws?
Do you need
King of the Claws. Bearing her wings. Okay, so I have a new mission for you. My scouts have come back from the caverns of Ronglagam. Not only are the caverns overrun with stone claws and deep claws, a very large deep claw has taken refuge there as well. My scouts have named the best Amshaz the Vast. We cannot let the stone claws and Amcham Vast to burrow in Ronglagam. It lies under the very foundation of the steep set, which apparently is an important place. All right, so sure, we'll go and take care of this King of the Claws. And our twist here is poison. So the monster... Oh, did you go off to a fireplace? Is that why? Do you take care of your buff? Anti-buff? I didn't even see it on you. Oh, okay, nice. Anyway, so the twist in this one is the monster commander in this mission has poison attacks that will do additional damage if not cured with a salve, potion, or skill. Okay. Well, luckily... Oh, looks like I'm going. I didn't even click on it. That's so weird. But I have the quest. Cool. So last week was Eurovision. For any of you who are who heard me last week. You may remember that I was very excited about that. So last Tuesday and Thursday, they had the semifinals for Eurovision, which is basically like, all these different countries who want to compete. They are placed into the first or the second semifinal, and they perform there, and then voting happens. And if they make it through, they go to the final, which is on Saturday. And the semifinals this year, there were 15 in one day and 16 on the other day. So that's like 11 countries that aren't going to make it through to the final. So sad for them. And then in the final, there was 26 countries. And they perform, and then people can vote from like their phones and stuff. And then also the different countries, each country has a jury made up of like 5 people, and they also vote. And then they take the combination of those two. There's a weighted system and stuff. But anyway, they take the combo from those two. And that's how many points you have. And whoever has the most points wins. So, kind of like a board game. Points are good. You want points. As we say. So anyway, so that was a lot of fun. And the Netherlands was competing on Tuesday of last week. Unfortunately, they did not make it through, and so that was their only time in the competition. So we were countryless in the final, but there was still a lot of stuff to root for in the final. Absolutely. So we had a good time. I had a good time. I am curious if anybody has any opinions on how Eurovision went for you. Okay, I'll pause on my opinions for a moment, just in case anybody wants to provide their opinions. And then I'll tell you what I think. Oh, you following me? Okay. Let's go find some more of this stuff. Let's see, we've been there. We've been here. And did we go that way? I think that's where we came from. What about this way? Did we go this way? I got a little turnaround. Yep, we've already been this way. Okay, so nope, not there. We need a side hall. Is that a hallway? Nope, that's not a hallway. Maybe this is a hallway. Okay, let's give it a try. Oh, hey. Oh, hey, I found something. Looks like we go down this way, perhaps. All right. Oh, wait. Or is this where we came from? Oh, wait a minute. That's where we came from. Never mind. Let's try that again. Okay, so we came up, we went left, we went right, but we haven't gone this way, maybe? Ah, yeah, we haven't been this way. There we go. Found it. All right, I'm not seeing a lot of chatter about Eurovision, so that's fine. I'll tell you my opinion on it. Is that there was somebody competing who had won previously, like 8 years ago. And so I think because of that, she was somewhat favored. And I think, as it goes with human nature, something that you are familiar with, something you are perhaps a little bit more likely to embrace it in some fashion. And so I think she got points somewhat for that. Because she got a lot of jury points. Like, a lot. And, I mean, the song was okay. It wasn't, like, the best. It wasn't my favorite of the songs. And the song that won. And I didn't feel like it was above and beyond. Like, it was like there was a field. And it was in that field. But it wasn't, like, obviously head and shoulders above it, in my opinion. The jury voting did seem to make it seem like it was head and shoulders above the others. So before says, opinion, I think it's really funny that the rest of the world has the same number of votes as the smallest Eurovision country. Yeah. I mean, so for the first time, so usually you have to be like in a Eurovision country in order to vote. And you can't vote for your own country though, but you have to be like in one of those countries that's actually like able to compete. But this year they did a really interesting thing where they had rest of the world, and so they were lumped into one category and one voting pool then. So that was interesting. There we go. That was quite a large burrowing. It was vast. I agree. Okay, we got a little pause here going on. What's the deal? Let's get rid of you folks. All right, cool. All right, so we're looking for, oh yeah, there's usually a dwarf that's gonna have a reward box for you, and then they will escort you back. So that was cool. I thought it was really cool that people from all over the world were able to vote this year. So that was neat. I like that. And Atlas says, not watched it. Actually, it's too much show than talent or singing nowadays for my liking. Yeah, I will touch on that. I will happily discuss that as well. Only read in news today there are complaints about 3 to 4 copyright issues of the winner's song. Oh, I hadn't heard that. Let's see. Okay, so now the foundation of Steep Set is safe. We'll stay vigilant. Rock on. We can do that, Ozma. Let's go check out some
Live or
flooded
die.
depths.
I shall not be a prisoner
Come
again.
and join me in the flooded depths. The song that won, and I don't know, are you pulling out some lyrics? Awesome. So Before has this like amusing theory that it sounds very much like something like it's a Cthulhu song. It's like Cthulhu and like an acolyte of Cthulhu are kind of like singing back and forth to each other. So I think that's kind of funny. So the singing talent, that sort of thing. So apparently the juries, what they're supposed to vote on is something like, so I was looking this up. There's only 5 people on each jury. And they're supposed to be people from like the music industry. So songwriters, singers, producers, record execs or something like that. Like people who have some familiarity with what a good song is, and good in a definition of marketable probably is what we're kind of the aiming for there. But also like, you know, are they singing well? Yeah, like, you know, if they're trying to sing a note, are they actually singing that note, or are they like way off? You know, does it sound good? Those sorts of things. So, you know, is it entertaining? You know, are they engaging with the audience? Those are probably things they would think of as good. So they have the criteria is things like, oh, I have to plug this leak. I didn't actually read what we're supposed to do here. That was a bad thing on my part. Plug 12 leaks and defeat 12 Urkosh. Okay. We can do that. Urkosh. Oh yeah, the Urkosh, the crab. So let's see. So the singing, the lyrics. This is what they're supposed to vote on. The jury. Public vote can do whatever they want. Like they have no criteria. But yeah, so the jury has to do the song, the lyrics, presentation, and like an overall thing. There might be a 5th thing that I'm missing, but basically that's kind of it. Like they have specific things they're looking at, but there's only 5 of them. So, you know, my thinking is if anybody gets something into their head, it could very easily like be translated to the rest of the group. Like if somebody's like, hey, I'm really liking blah, 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 somebody else might then start paying more attention to whatever that is and be like, oh yeah, that's really clever. I like that. For example, there's one of the songs was Who the Hell is Edgar? And by the Austria team brought that. And Taya and Selena are the artists who performed it and wrote it. And it's basically talking about the music industry and about how you just don't make a lot of money, and how it's like kind of 2 songs and 2 concepts in one. One is that when you are songwriting, sometimes it feels like you're just getting this from somewhere else, and it's almost as if something has possessed you and you're just writing and it's coming from somewhere else. So that's that artistic kind of thing that happens to you. But then there's also a discussion about how songwriters just don't make much money, and for like each stream of your song you make 0.003 cents or something like that. So they're not like, you know, it's not like somebody streams their song and like, hey, bank. You know, like they have a lyric in there about like, you know, gas station champagne is on me, you know, give me 2 years and dinner will be free, you know, stuff like that. So I thought people who are in the music industry would really connect with that song and the lyrics of that song. And so perhaps they didn't like that being called out because they did not get a lot of votes from the jury. They got some though. So I it's one of those where I think if they've been like, wow, this is really clever, I really like this, I'm happy that somebody's actually saying something about this, like those sorts of things, I think it might have, you know, I think as you are with any social group or any group of people who have similar tastes and similar, like whatever you're into, you probably run across other people who are into similar things as yourself. And there might be in the people who are a jury for a country, for Eurovision, like that seems like a reasonably small group of people that might tend to know each other, and there might be some like, what do I want to call it, zeitgeist, or or like they have similar thoughts and ideas, and so that could have played a part in how things went this year in the voting, because across the board, most of the juries, and like a huge percentage of the juries, voted in a very similar manner for the winner, like lots of points for the winner, for the person who ended up winning. Whereas the popular vote was nowhere near as strong, and you would think that there would be some parts of it, but it feels like there's a spike for what the jury votes how the jury votes came in versus a more lackluster set of votes from the public. Okay, anyway, put that aside. So the talent singing part, for me, yeah, I'm like, this is a song contest. So we're talking about the song from my perspective, right? Like, how well written is it? Like, are the lyrics interesting to me? Is it, how well are they performing it? That is an important thing. And not just like in the studio, but like if you put this person on a microphone in front of a bunch of people, because it's a song contest, right? Like they're competing, so they need to be able to perform their song, and without the help of a lot of tweaking in the studio. That's a whole different, right? If you want to have those kinds of songs, then you release those songs and put them out as popular songs, but they're not going to do well in a Eurovision contest, in my opinion. They shouldn't do well in a Eurovision contest. Like, the ones that do well in a Eurovision contest should be the ones where the people or the person are singing the song, right? Like, these are the performers, they're performing their song. And in my opinion, while dancing is entertaining, it's not a dancing competition. It's a singing competition. It's a song competition, right? Performance, yeah. So some dancing, some moving around, absolutely. Like, I want to see the person who's performing their song moved by their song. Like, if they're standing stone still the entire time they're singing, it makes me wonder if they don't feel passionate about their song. And if they don't feel passionate about their song, why should I, right? Like, that's where my brain goes. And so I want to see them feeling the passion, the mythos, the whatever it is that, the energy that they have for their song. I want to see that in their performance. So absolutely, having a good performance makes sense. Totally down for that. But there's a lot of dancing that's been happening, especially this year. Like, I don't know, like 5 different acts had a dance break. They only get 3 minutes, first of all, to do their whole song, which is not a long time. And so the fact that they're like taking part of that time to stop singing and do a bunch of dancing, I'm like, why are you wasting your time on that? Like, I don't know. Anyway, and one of the songs that did really well, she does a big dance break at one point, and I didn't find her dance break particularly compelling either. So like, that was another one where I was frustrated with how it went down, because I'm like, I don't know. I didn't think the points were reflective of the quality of what we were seeing. But that's why, oh, clicking sounds of the matron grow louder as we approach. Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm a hunter. I could have just searched for it. This is why you can tell I'm distracted. Oh, there she is. Hello. Let's see. Can I get off a heart seeker from up here? Oh, I might be able to. All right, let's see if I can do this without falling in. I'm going to go invisible, and then do one of these, and do one of these. Oh yeah, I made her mad. She's trying to come find me. All right, I took her out. I may have dropped you. Nope, there you are. Woohoo! All right, now we just have to find our dwarf scout guy. Let's see. Scout guy, where are you? Sadly, we can't do a search for, like, ourselves, you know what I mean? Okay, so B4's point about the lyrics from the winning song. He's like, tell me this isn't a song sung between Cthulhu and, like, a head priest. This is not our time. It's time to say goodbye until we meet again, because this is not the end. It will come a day when we will find our way. Violins playing and the angels crying. When the stars align, then I'll be there. I mean, the stars align is the giveaway right there, isn't it? Like, and the way she sings it, she's got like these huge long talons, and she's like, "This is not our time. It's time to say goodbye." You know, it's very dramatic. And yeah, so we're both like, I could see this. I could absolutely see this. It's very Cthulhu. Yes, the violence.
Gundabad
And then the angels crying. Like,
be wary.
why are the angels crying? Like, what happened? Who hurt the angels? Like, what the heck? So it was really funny because she was in the winner's press conference afterwards. Oh, hang on, I gotta finish this off. Let's see. Okay, the horde's defeated. Repairs underway. We hope to see the old tunnels restored and safe. Awesome. And then let's see, Elsma, what you got for me? Unwelcome guests.
Do you need something?
Scouts have returned from Hadnul Zahar. In the old dwarf halls, trolls have taken hold and protect it as their own. This cannot stand. We must return the Hadnulzar and return to Hadnulzar and show these trolls that Gundabad belongs to the dwarves. Okay. All right. We'll do that. Yes, because of all the violence on TV. That's an old Saturday Night Live routine with Gilda Radner, where they would have. She played. Oh God, what was the character's name? I just forgot. Anyway, Edna. And anyway, the idea was that she couldn't hear 100%, and so people were talking about violence on TV, but she thought they said violins on TV. You know. And she's like, I don't know why people have trouble with violins on TV. Like, they sound lovely. I mean, I'm sure they could just kind of screech a bit or what. Like, she just went on with this whole thing. And then they would be like, no, violence on TV. And then she'd be like, Emily Litella. Oh, yeah, thank you. Emily Litella. And then she would be like, oh, never mind. It was a great bit. It was fantastic. So, yes, all these violins on TV. So yes, we have the violins playing, and then the angels are crying, and the stars are aligning. Like, it's totally Cthulhu. I know a lot of people are not happy with the way it came out because the act that came in second from Finland. Was very they were great with getting the crowd excited, and the performance was fun and very energetic, and they had like a very catchy kind of stuff going on. And funny thing is, I mean, it was all sung in Finnish, so that's pretty exciting that a song that was not in English, because that's always a thing that people are like, oh, you can't win Eurovision if you don't sing in English. Then it's like, well, what about this song? What about that song? That song, that song. You know, all these songs that did win that weren't in English. So anyway, the fact that the song was all like not in English and people got pretty excited about it was pretty awesome. And it was so cute because, you know, Finland doesn't have like the biggest population in Europe, right? The guy who did the song, he would be like, his name is Karja, which, okay, so spell it K-A-R, like I-A-A, and every A you have 2 dots over it, okay? And so Karja was just, he's like, on stage, he's just like, rah, 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 rah. But yet, in person, like when he'd give interviews, he was just like so quiet, like not quiet and unassuming, but like much more like, at one point he said something like, I'm just a little guy from a little country. This is like mind blowing, like that kind of thing. It was so cute. Oh yeah, it's 2 A's at the beginning. Okay, so K-A-A-R-I-J-A, and all the A's have umlauts. Yeah, so if you ever want to look him up. So his thing was pretty entertaining, and people were very excited about it. And so there's a lot of people who were upset and like, why did this not win? It was obviously the better song. It obviously had more public support. Like everybody wanted it to win. Why did the jury not vote for it? And why did the jury vote for this other thing? So there's a lot of talk about that at the moment. But I think that happens every year. I think there's every year like a bit of, I don't know, maybe sour grapes or, whatever. So Annapolis said there was also this clip of the Polish butter churn which went viral. What has this particularly to do with a singing competition? So that was a callback to a performance from, before is grabbing a link. So basically throughout the years, every so often something comes along that gets people's attention. And so there was that one is, I can't remember which country it was, but they were like dressed in these kind of like ethnic outfits, but also kind of cute short skirts as well. And they sang great and they performed it great. From Poland, there we go, from 2014. And part of the performance though is they had like a woman who was in a somewhat tighter ethnic outfit and was churning butter as kind of a very suggestive sort of thing as part of the performance. Because unfortunately, sexiness sells. There were votes, like I mentioned, for like the act that came in third, where I think she got the votes in part because she was wearing very little and throwing her body around and looking sexy. Like when you take a third of your time and it's not even singing, it makes me wonder, like, what's the deal? But apparently she's very popular in her country, and so maybe there's some of that. Like, maybe there's some of, like, everybody knows she can sing, so she didn't have to sing as much as she could have. She didn't have to show that off. She didn't have to present the fact that she could sing, because everybody's like, oh, yeah, it's her, she can sing. We already know this. But I don't know her, so, like, I felt like she did need to prove it to myself and others who are not familiar with her or not from her country, that kind of thing. So, but the juries thought she did great and she got a lot of points. Yeah, as a point though, B4 does point out that Poland did finish 9th that year, so it might not have helped. Yeah, and Sandy says, a terrible song too. I didn't care for it. I just didn't care for it. But anyway, so the butter churning thing is a reference back to that. And then in, what was it, like 2016? Love, Love, Peace, Peace was, so what they do is on the Saturday during the Eurovision show, all the people who are competing, they, do their thing, there's like small breaks in between, but pretty much back to back. And then, then everybody's like, they're like, okay, now you can vote. Now everybody's performed, now you can vote. So everybody gets on their phones and whatnot, and it costs like $1 or €1 per vote. So you go in and you vote, and you spend your $1, you spend your euro, and each vote you do costs that. So you could do like 10 or 20, so like $10, $20, whatever you're doing, and then you've only got like so much time to do that. So that happens, and then they are like, close the voting, and then they tabulate the jury votes, and then they reveal the information on that, and then they tabulate the public vote, and then they reveal the information on that, and then they have the winner. So during that time when people are voting, and they're doing all this stuff, there's a gap of time where you need to fill. So what they've done is they've created like this interval act part of the show, where they'll have people who are well known come and perform, or they'll put together like an extravaganza of well-known acts from previous years. One year they had people who are well-known from Eurovision singing other Eurovision people's songs. So like this person sang their song, and then that person sang somebody else's song, and then that person sang this person's song. It was a really clever little thing. I thought that was cool. So in 2016, the presenters were part of the interval act, and they did a song called Love, Love, Peace, Peace, which was basically like take all the aspects of what makes a Eurovision song and put it together and create a song. And it's hilarious. It's such a send up of, and a parody of like what is a Eurovision song. And so they start off with like, you know, let's tell you what, you know, like, let's talk about what are the elements that you need to have a winning Eurovision song. And they're like, well, you need some sort of a traditional instrument, you know, and then like, there's this like buff guy all, you know, lathered up or whatever, and, you know, playing some wacky thing. She's like, no. What you need is like an old grandfather, or, you know, and brings like an old guy in. He's like, and they're like, you know, and then you just make all this up of, and then, and so then they started singing this song, and it was called Love, Love, Peace, Peace, because a lot of Eurovision songs are very much like, let's have world peace, and let's all love each other, and, you know, stuff like that. And so it was making fun of that. And then throughout the whole thing, they would bring in visually aspects from other things. And so the butter churning was in that song. And as was, just all sorts of various things. Like one year, a guy played a violin. I think he won. And so he was there. They had a guy on roller skates. So they just really took all these things and made references to a bunch of them. So the butter churning thing keeps coming back. So I would expect that the Polish butter churning this will not be the last time we see that. So Sandy, I also just did not care for the song, the third place song. I don't know. It's so funny though, because, and this is like super controversial, I am sure, to say this, but so her lyrics at the beginning of the song, she's something like, hey, do you want to check my DNA? And then there's something about like, let's throw away history, and something else, a third thing that she said right in that early bit. And it makes me go, now, I should preface, well, okay, let me put this slightly prefaced, that the country that she is singing on behalf of and that she's from has conflicts with its nearby neighbors. And so there's part of it which makes me wonder if she's like pro some of her neighbors, which would be super controversial for her to say that, because the pride of that country is like out the roof. So I just wanted to throw that out there. It strikes me as interesting, and I'm sure she's not. She's probably not saying that at all, but I don't know. You could make a case for it, I think. Anyway, let me turn in this mission here. Okay. Oh, I'm picking up a new one, I think. I have a new mission for you. My scouts have come back from one of the caverns that weaves throughout Gundabad. Ice giants have stolen several treasures from within Gundabad and secured them behind a series of gates. Okay. So we're going to go defeat some ice giants and recover the stolen treasures. All right. We can see what we can do about that. Let's give that a go. Yeah. Oh, how funny. You've entered a restricted area. Will be removed if you do not leave. It's because we're in Gundabad area, and we're level 75, so we're much lower than what's going on around here. It's pretty funny. So, oh yeah, thanks. And before, put a link to the page, Genius Lyrics. They've kind of referenced all the different things in Love, Love, Peace, Peace. In fact, I think they may have missed one or two, because not all the references are there even, because I was watching something that was like a Eurovision retrospective or something, and the outfit that the singer was wearing, I'm like, wait, that's the outfit from Love, Love, Peace, Peace. So obviously that outfit was a callback that she wore in that to this previous thing that I was then watching. And I don't think I had seen that listed in other breakdowns of what all was in that. Like, they just did a fantastic job of referencing so many things. And it's a catchy tune as well, which is even funnier. Love, love, peace, peace. And a woman's, you know, and a guy on roller skates. Peace, peace, love, love. And a woman churning butter. I mean, it's a hoot. Oops. Oh well, that's fine. I'm shooting at somebody different than you, but it worked. It worked out. Hey, he dropped a key. Well, that's handy. Let's go find somewhere to put this key. I bet it's down these giant stairs somewhere. Uh-oh. What are we in combat with? An ice thrower. An ice giant thrower. Yeah, okay. As opposed to a giant ice thrower? Or an ice giant thrower? I guess he's not throwing giants, so you know. Those are some huge stairs, though. Holy moly. Oh yes, the burning fake piano. And a burning fake piano. That was apparently another thing. In one of the Eurovisions, somebody had a piano, and the piano was on fire. As part of the thing. Like, I think it was on purpose. Oh, another key. How many keys do we need? We have to recover 4 stolen treasures, so we might need 4 keys. Fair enough. That reminds me, totally different subject, of a parody, a skit that I always love. There's an older group called the Two Ronnies. They were, now one of them has passed, so they're just the one Ronnie, but they were the Two Ronnies. And they did a skit called 4 Candles, which, if you hear it, you don't know if I just said 4 candles, like the thing you burn, or fork, like the thing you eat with, handles. So 4 candles, and that was basically the whole thing the entire time, was all sorts of jokes, you know, that involved how these things sounded. One thing sounded so much like another, and the confusion that came between the person who was shopping and the shopkeeper. They did a follow-on years later about like cell phones, like mobile phone, and it was about like Apple, and so the guy's like, something was wrong with his apple, and he put like an apple on the counter, like the food, you know, and was that? And then, oh yeah, there was a BlackBerry involved, and it's like, I mean, it was like literally like the fruit, the BlackBerry. It was great. So yes, the Two Ronnies, 4 Candles. It was great. Oh, another key! Hooray! I do enjoy like puns and excellent wordplay and things like that. So as you can tell, we have fully embraced Eurovision as newer residents of Europe. We haven't gone yet. It was hosted in the Netherlands in the time that we've been here. But it was also like Corona times and getting over Corona times and that sort of thing. And we really debated over it, though. We thought about going, because it was over in Rotterdam, which, I mean, okay, the country's not that big in general, really. I was going to say, it's not that far. It's like an hour, maybe 2 to get there. To get from our door to that door would probably been like maybe 2 hours. You know, using mass transit even. But yeah, again, the country's not that big. So, but we didn't go. We watched it on TV, and I mean, they do such a good job with the TV broadcasting that it's hard to not feel like you've already got the best seats by being at home. You know, and if there was like something would come up, they would mention something, whatever, I could just like get on the internet and search for an answer if I wanted to. Or let's see, stolen treasures reclaimed. We have additional resources. Oh, well, you're welcome for that. And the last one, High Dig. Let's see. They've come back from High Sundagrat, and the old ruins run amok with dour hands. Oh, these dwarves have no sense of honor and will cause nothing but trouble. Have we thought about trying to get along? I don't know. Anyway, we must put a stop to their treasure-seeking efforts. Okay, fine. Fine. Go find the treasure. Oh, and this twist is traps. Some monsters in this mission will attempt to lay down traps that will give you a debuff if caught in the trap. Okay, what? What? Oh, don't take it? Okay. hang on, I gotta go turn in a quest with Zova.
For the
Let's see, I see you have completed many missions. You have done well to aid the Zelruka and all those who work to reclaim the mountain home. I reward you for your efforts. I got a relic. A preserved relic of Gundabad. It's worth 1,000 Legion points. I feel like I should open it. Okay. Hey, look at that. Whoosh. I don't think so. Let's see, what's it called again? Oh wait, I do. Oh wait, hang on a second. I have 3 more relics of Gundabad. Let's see, I'm now curious. Who's this? Does it say Gundabad? Nope. Oops, hope I spell it right. No, it's not March on Gundabad. Who is this? Allegiance? Oh, I wanted to see it here. I guess I can't see it here. Alright, let me open my allegiance panel. Hang on. I want to watch this go up. Character, allegiances. Here it is. It'll go up here. Oh, the first one's available to claim. Ooh, I have reached allegiance level 1. Cool. Alright. Okay, and let me take that one. Oh, that was 500. Boom, boom. Kaboom! I don't think I have any more of those, though. But hey, now I'm level 2 out of 30. And I can claim these tokens. Sure, why not? Hey, I'm level 2. Woot woot. Alright. We are helping them reclaim Gundabad and make Gundabad their new home. Progress is being made. Reached level 2 with the clan. That gave me 2 tokens. Rock on. Okay, now we'll go back and do that one, yeah? The high dig. High dig. Alright, so there might be some traps here. We'll have to keep an eye out for those. Let me do another food just in case. Wow, that goes down quite a ways, doesn't it? Given that they brought us in looking this direction, it makes me think we're going up. I know. Oh, hey. Stop hunting treasures here, buddy. Apparently we're mad at you. We'll just say that we've, like, encouraged them to reassess the error of their ways. Anyway, yes, we've been very much enjoying Eurovision. But we tend to watch it with I like to watch it with the subtitles on, because I don't necessarily always remember all the lyrics, even though I've been listening to the songs, you know, for the last month. So that you can't do in person. Yeah. But they do have a lot of, like, events and stuff that you can do in person, so leading up to it and the week of it, and, like, yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if we ever end up going in person to Eurovision. It's a hard choice because I really do enjoy all the amenities of being home. You know, I can, like, put the tea on and, you know, enjoy it that way. No, there's some more mining tools over here. Oh, okay, so we need dour hand supplies and mining tools and treasure. Just defeat the treasure hunters. Okay. So that's the category of things that we're working on. And there's something over here. Can I get there? Oh yeah, I can. Can go around. I think there might be stuff over here. Nope, it just goes there. Never mind. Oh. There's some stairs. Okay, let me come back over now. Whee. Where'd you find stairs? Nope, not there. Oh. Let's try this way. Ah, I see you. I see you ascending. Yeah, it is kind of a ramp, isn't it? Yeah. It's like the ramps of in Elrond's library now. Oh, we got another one. Another treasure hunter. All right. Leave those treasures behind. They're not yours, buddy. got it. Okay. Anyway, so yes, we're quite enjoying Eurovision. We should be able to fit under there. But we cannot. Alright, so next week, yeah, we'll probably do the Buried Treasure event for a bit. And then we might come back and do some more Allegiance stuff. In fact, given that the Allegiance stuff is like, has a rotating series of stuff, we might just try to pop in here anyway. So we don't miss out on stuff. So we need 10 supplies. When is that? June 7th, I think, we get a level increase. It's in the schedule. The Cardolan, who is the SSG community manager, he posts a schedule of when things are happening, and this year he put when Shadowfax and Treebeard would be going up in their levels on it, which I thought was a great idea, because we're constantly asking, like, when is it, when is it, when is it? So June 7 is when Treebeard is scheduled to go up to our next level bump. So an interesting thing is that the delving system that I mentioned earlier. All right, cool, we finished our mission. We don't have to actually take out anybody else. But we do need to find the guy who can Dwarf Scout. Yeah, these treasure hunters are gonna go this last. Do we think it's down there? I think it's, isn't it down? You think it's up? Oh, I didn't check that out. Anyway, so okay, so the delvings I was talking about earlier. You have to be at server cap to do the delvings. We are currently at server cap because we're level 75 and the cap is 75. However, June 7th, our cap goes up to 85, so we will not be able to do delvings until we're back at level cap again, which, I mean, might not take that long. We have a tendency to go questing quite a lot, and quests are a great way to get experience. Was he back up top? They tend to show up about where you end now. Yeah. So, all right, we're gonna run back upstairs. That's kind of funny. So we might try to get some more delvings in. I don't want to do any delvings today because I don't want any more stuff from the current legendary item box. Like, yeah, the current LI track. I don't need anything else from that. I'm good. So I want to wait till tomorrow and then do delvings. So we might be doing some delvings off screen. All right, Gundabad, Sundergrat should remain safe for now. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see next week what we do. I expect B4 is going to try and talk me into more delvings next week because there's deeds to be done.
Put your back to the past and
I
to
don't
the
have
wind.
enough storage for everything. I just, no more. Plus, I want to use as much experience towards the new track as possible because I'm sure there'll be something on the new track that I want. But there's always something I want. You know, there's probably going to be like a pet or a mount or an emote. There's going to be something on the new track. I am certain of it. Okay, so we've done all the missions that are available to us today with these folks, with these two. I don't know if there's more. Like, we're still kind of getting our feet here. But we've been collecting these Gundabad mountain marks, and it looks like once we have enough, we can get Relics of Gundabad, which gives us more experience with the with our reputation faction here. Stone Trolls, looks like we've got a variety of housing items that are Stone Trolls. That's funny. Man, what are you gonna do? So on the legendary servers, there's Stone Troll the first, the Stone Troll the second, and Stone Troll the third, and you can only get those on the legendary servers, and they are housing items. And so we worked to get them and have dispersed them about. And then there was another stone troll that we ran across. And so before I got that one also. But now, like, there's a headless stone troll, a sitting stone troll, pointing left, hunched over, pointing right, falling down. It's like, you don't have enough yard hooks for all of that. Those are furniture trolls. They go inside the house? Okay. So we have a lot of these tokens that we're going to need in order to get all the trolls. Well, I think we're done in here for today then, right? Let me just double check. Let's see if there's a stable master. There's some goats. Cool. What else? We don't have the weekly one to turn in yet. So we'll need some more. So yeah, okay. Sorry, looking around for things. Yeah, I think we are done with the allegiance for today. And it would have been a lot faster. Like, you can obviously come in and do this a lot faster than we did. We were faffing about and chatting and all that stuff, so yeah. Don't think that you are like, oh my gosh, it's gonna take me 2 hours to do this stuff. No, it doesn't. It just takes me 2 hours to do this stuff because I'm talking. Oh, I got totally off track. So, just gonna say real quick, the winner of Eurovision, she was at the winners' press conference, and she said something about her previous win. Somebody was asking her about the two songs because there's some similarities between the songs and the way they sound. And she was saying, like, this is the light one and that is the dark one. And I'm like, I don't see that at all. If anything, I'd see it the other way around, because the other one, literally the title of the song is Euphoria. And I don't see how she sees that as dark. And this one, she's like, you know, we're going to be apart, but like, you're stuck on me like a tattoo, but we're not together. I don't know. It just feels like it's the opposite way around. I don't know. Sometimes she says things and I'm like, I don't agree with that at all. It's a weird thing to say. Anyway, oh, these are the stone trolls. That's what I'm going to show you. So, putting Eurovision aside, putting that up on the shelf for now. So there's these 3 stone trolls that you can get on the legendary servers, and they're the same stone trolls that you run into out in the troll shaws that are the ones that were going to eat the dwarves and the Hobbit and Bilbo in the Hobbit, and then the sun came up, you know, the bright whatever, they got hit by sunlight and they got turned to stone. So that's these 3 trolls, and you can get them through doing stuff on the legendary servers. So that's really fun. And so we have, you know, been very particular about trying to make sure we have that. And so B4 is really happy to have these in his yard. And then we found this stone troll. I'm trying to remember where it was. It was somewhere, we were doing some quest or something, and we're like, hey, there's another stone troll. So we were trying to figure out how to, like, scooch it into the yard so you don't see the plinth that he's standing on, because these guys don't have that. And so this one looks like, yeah, it looks a little strange that he's standing on a thing there. But, oh, excuse me. Hey, kitty cat. You gonna come up? One of the cats is awake. And, okay, technically they're both awake, although Casper doesn't look very awake at all. But Kato is here. Are you gonna make an appearance before I go? You gonna think about it? All right, so I'm going to start wrapping up here. I'm not sure if that was a child or a chicken. If you, oh my gosh, more boxes. Wait, contains aids to help you in your adventure. Oh, that's things like those. Okay, I think I have space in my inventory. I think I already have those, because these stack. A coffer of legendary items. This is the one. These are the ones that you get after 101. That are in the 101. So the coffer of legendary items. So it's going to be something random. So this time it's ancient script. This time it's ancient script and more ancient script. I don't have a place for that. Ancient script, enhancement runes. Okay, that I can open because those stack. Well, that's handy. Enhancement runes, cool. Like here they are down here. So those will stack up. So that's nice. What do we have? Coffer of legendary items. What do we get? Ancient script. A sealed tracery. So if I open this sealed tracery box, it's going to give me a hunter one because I'm a hunter. So really, I want to leave it in the box and open it with whatever character is working on filling up their legendary items. There we go. Here she comes. This is Kato. Oh, there she goes. Bye, honey. Oh, I have stuff on my desk, so she wants to sit on it. Of course. All right. Well, I think I'm going to go get something to eat, something to drink, and tidy up my inventory, apparently. I think off stream, I'll be taking probably my burglar over to Rivendell and working on some tracery stuff at some point here. So, well, thank you all for coming along with us today on this fun little journey. Yes, I'm going to pick you up, honey. Oh, yes, I am. Oh, yes, I am. Hi. Oh, you don't want to be here? Sometimes she's letting me hold her lately. I can hold her for a couple minutes sometimes. No, more than a couple seconds. That was a couple seconds. I can hold her for like a couple minutes sometimes lately, which has been really fun. 120 seconds is a long time. That's true. Anyway, all right. So everybody, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day and rest of your week. Remember to get your stuff out of your legendary item reward track. You've got 20 hours and 23 minutes left. So hit all your servers. Make sure you get your stuff out. And I will see you next week here. Have a great time. And remember, as always, to stay connected to the Hobbit side of your heart and enjoy the kitty cats in your life who are very, very silly. All right. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.